In today's episode, we are looking at how the ultra-billionaires spent their billions. Most people spend their lives chasing numbers they believe will make them free, a better house, a faster car, a taste of comfort. But there is a level of wealth so extreme that money stops being something you spend and becomes something you control reality with. The ultra-rich live in a shadow version of our world, a place without receipts, without cameras, where ownership disappears behind shell companies and erased records. And once you step into that world, you don't come back the same. Keep watching, because the final secret was so extreme, official files tied to it were manually removed from public databases, and yet, traces of it still remain. Well, most people spend their lives chasing numbers they believe will make them free, a better house, a faster car, a taste of comfort. But there is a level of wealth so extreme that money stops being something you spend and becomes something you control reality with. The ultra-rich live in a shadow version of our world, a place without receipts, without cameras, where ownership disappears behind shell companies and erased records. And once you step into that world, you don't come back the same. Keep watching, because the final secret was so extreme, official files tied to it were manually removed from public databases. And yet, traces of it still remain. 1. The floating kingdoms, yachts that aren't yachts to the wealthy. A yacht isn't a boat. It's a floating sovereign zone, complete with staff, law exemptions, and rooms that don't legally exist. These sea fortresses, cost more than entire hospitals to construct, are equipped with military radar and missile jamming systems, contain submerged vaults beneath sea level. Invisible to satellite scans, operate under flag of convenience jurisdictions, meaning their legal owner is nobody you can trace. One such vessel was rumored to have a $75 million underwater chamber removed from every official blueprint just days after completion. And what that chamber was built for, even most guests on board will never find out. 2. The underground cities they refuse to acknowledge. Billionaires do not fear economic collapse. They design for it. Deep beneath farmlands and remote hills, in places like New Zealand, Norway, and unmarked American soil, lie private underground worlds, built not for survival, but for rule. Inside them, artificial oxygen gardens, making breathable air completely off-grid, helicopter shafts disguised as natural terrain, gold-lined panic vaults, sealed by DNA-coded locks, no government has access to. There's one facility, whispered among insiders, referred to only as Vault 7. Its coordinates are missing from every official land registry. Satellite images blur the area automatically, as if by instruction. What's stored inside Vault 7 is not gold, not weapons, but something far more valuable to those who believe the world above won't last. 3. Islands that do not exist on any map. Once a year, a select group of billionaires vanish, not publicly, not by accident. Their planes depart on silent flight paths, unregistered, untracked, their destination. Islands that do not appear on any tourist database, owned through offshore layers so complex not even international law can trace them. To enter, attendees must sign multi-million-dollar life-binding NDAs, forfeit all technology, even smart contact lenses are scanned and confiscated, agree to be monitored only through private in-house surveillance systems controlled by the host on these islands. Reality is staged. Entire artificial villages are constructed. Actors live as villagers under fictional monarchy rule, obeying commands of one billionaire just for his 48-hour reign. If you had unlimited power, would you build your own world too? Or would you destroy this one first? 4. When ownership extends beyond objects to life itself, cars, diamonds, mansions, those are for millionaires trying to prove something. Billionaires prove ownership by controlling life. Real confirmed acquisitions include Private white tigers, kept inside temperature-controlled glass habitats connected directly to living rooms, cloned pets, and race animals resurrected from DNA samples because loss is optional when money is infinite. Personal rainforests, imported tree by tree, maintained by botanists living full-time inside artificial climate ecosystems. To them, nature isn't something you visit. It's something you own completely, and yet this is still only surface-level spending. The next layer goes somewhere far darker. 5. The hidden auction. Where laws do not exist, some say the circle doesn't exist. Others say it meets once a year. There are no tickets, no invitations. You are approached, or you never know it happened. This is not an auction of art. This is where reality is sold in pieces. Witness reports mention meteorite fragments diverted from research labs into private vaults, ancient skulls, and forbidden relics protected by international law. Purchased anyway. A rumored neural device seized from a classified facility said to record fragments of human dreams. Transactions move through diplomatic pouches. A legal loophole that prevents inspection by any authority on Earth. But one purchase goes beyond insane, and it leads us to the final secret. Finally, the billionaire who bought a town and erased it in Nevada. There was once an old mining town, population small, history forgotten. Then, one day, it vanished. All public records of the town were quietly removed. Postal routes were rerouted without public notice. Google Maps showed it. Until it didn't. Shortly after, a Luxembourg-registered shell company executed a silent purchase. Since then, entry roads were blocked by gates requiring biometric clearance. Unmarked black convoy vehicles enter once a month, then disappear. Locals report drones flying at night emitting light frequencies invisible to the naked eye. Some believe it's a simulation zone, a full-scale model of societal collapse run by billionaire overseers using actors and AI-controlled scenarios, preparing for something we are not being told. And here's the part no one likes to hear. This town receives power, supplies, funding, regular maintenance, like a city that lives in the shadows. Someone is investing in it. Someone is watching it. Someone is preparing it. The shadow game. You've just seen how billionaires spend money when reality itself becomes the product. But there's something even more powerful than ownership. Please subscribe and like for the next episode.